Hello, Abby Pensack. How are you?
I'm fine, David. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Hey,
Good.
thank you so much. Once again, I think this is maybe our fourth or fifth video. This is
Yeah.
awesome. So today I've got Abby Pensack here. Abby is with Abby Pensack Insurance, and we're going to have a discussion today, once a little bit further on, about the COVID-19 and the coronavirus and what
Mhm.
kind of issues has been going on with that, other than just people getting sick, how it's actually affecting people's financial future. So, Abby, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay. Well, hi, David. Thanks for helping. And yeah, so in my practice, I have long-term care insurance, life insurance, Medicare supplements, and disability insurance. So I'm covering a lot of risk for people's assets, their savings, their retirement. And what has happened during COVID-19 is that a lot of folks are calling because they either want to buy life insurance, long-term care insurance, and sadly, final expense insurance. Um,
Mm.
Not to be morbid, but they're looking at what's happening and they see that it's, a rising case number. And so they're worried. And another reason why they're concerned is what I like to do is send out messages like this and LinkedIn and such and explain that if you have COVID or if you get COVID, and even if you're non-symptomatic, soon in the future, that will be a knockout question to get life insurance
Wow.
or long-term care insurance because there are residual maladies that go along with it, which are pretty amazingly disabling. Neurological issues, uh, weakness of lung capacity, heart difficulty breathing, kidney disease. People are getting blood clots. I mean, I don't mean to sound like, Debbie Downer, but
Right.
this is a reality. And so folks that I've been talking to and are slow to decide if they want something, when they understand that that may be a question on their policy application, want to move forward.
Gotcha. Okay, with that being said, if someone bought today, it wouldn't supersede or it wouldn't go back in time where they would not cover that, correct? So if somebody bought something
Correct.
today or already had something in place, then they're covered, they're good. They wouldn't have to worry about, you know, finding out, oh, well, I didn't know it
No,
wasn't covered.
no. Back in the day, HIV was a knockout. Now HIV, well controlled with medication, is a possibility. So what's going to happen is until they know how COVID affects us down the pike,
Mhm.
it's just going to be like HIV when it was new. They don't know what's down the road. They're in the risk management business. So if you have to answer yes, there's a very good chance that they will decline your policy or rate it tremendously. So the best thing to do, as I've always said to clients, is act now while your health is the best.
Wow. It's really
Yeah,
it's really scary to think that you could get something like that and you might not be able to get a policy where
you're right.
I think so many people gamble and they go, you know what, today I'm in good health. I think I'm good today. I don't have to spend that money, buy that policy today. Kind of thinking about the future, you know what, I'll plan on buying it in 5 years or 3 years or something like that. And then bam, you get hit by something like this and then find
That
out that they might not do it or you
that's the
can't cover
saddest, that's one of the saddest parts of my job is not claims. When people go on claim, it's not sad. They're covered, they're protected, they have money. I mean, it's sad that they're not well and can get their long-term care insurance, or if somebody passes, their family gets their life insurance.
it.
But what is scary is when I get a call and the client will say, Abby, can I get blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, oh, okay, a little red flag. And then you find out I have this one guy who's got this horrible neuromuscular disease. I saw him 18 months ago, healthy, strong. Not so much now and not insurable now. And this disease is going to eventually ruin his muscles and his mobility, and he's going to be in hot water. And he's not a wealthy guy. He can't self-insure. So it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Well, we've discussed in the past how kind of dangerous it is. I mean, we've been seeing and watching on the news that we've had all these issues with long-term care facilities, or these adult homes that people
Hmm.
are in, or adult, could be the daycare, could be anything, assisted living, any of that. And like really how dangerous that could possibly be now, because we've had a lot of the deaths that we've had have come from these. So like,
Right. Right. And the thing is, too, is that I have a family members in assisted living, and they're pretty much captive. I mean, they can't go anywhere since March. They can't go out of the facility. They're in a assisted living, so they still have a lot of freedom, and they could have gone to the grocery store, do whatever, and they are in, and their family has to see them like you see on the news through a window. And if you have long-term care insurance, you can get the same services you get in a home, in an assisted living facility, as you can in your own home. And you have an agency that is all COVID protected. They come in PPE equipment, and they take care of you, and you are safe and sound. Um, and if your family was counting on adult daycare, for example, to
right.
get grandma, grandpa, whomever out of the house for a little bit,
Hmm.
those are closed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a conundrum. I mean, I've always said, don't hesitate. It's not going to be better tomorrow. It's not going to be none of this is going to be less expensive or better tomorrow.
Right. Right. Yeah, it really is scary. I've actually got in my local area where I live, there's a senior citizen, like a center, which is basically like an adult daycare, I would say.
Hmm.
They go out, hang out, meet with their friends, play games, exercise, stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
literally been shut down for like 3 months.
right,
And people
right.
are like, when is it going to open up? It's really important. I know the girl that operates this one out here, and I mean,
Hmm.
really important for this area, and they can't get in there. So it's
Well, think of it
scary.
this way. If you're at home and you have a caregiver who, is coming from a place where they're doing all their due diligence to keep you safe, and you have kids or relatives that have been tested negative and they've been very good, they can come visit you.
Right.
I mean, it's better if it's outside, but they can still come visit you.
Right.
If you're in assisted living, they can't come to see you
Right.
at all. And so, that's a big argument to have your cake and eat it too, is that you have long-term care insurance, it's paying your bills, and you're doing it as you want it. It's a choice and freedom.
Right.
And that's been an emphasis all along.
Right. Abby, let me ask you this. With that being said, also, so for any of your clients today that already have traditional long-term care,
Hmm.
short-term or long-term disability, that might have potentially been able to use that and didn't know, are there some issues of people that didn't know that they had, coverage, and they could have potentially used it?
Well, that's the argument for having an insurance review, because folks buy it. And I was the same way back in the day before I was in the business, where you get your policy from a trusted person, and then you put it in your file cabinet. You never look at it again.
Right.
So any agent worth their weight calls their client once a year and offers to go over it. And also, when folks go on claim, the first place they come is to their agent, the person who sold them the policy.
Mhm.
So we also, we don't just sell it and go away. We sell it, and then you're ours forever. I mean, it's not a matter of what you're earning. It's a matter of your dedication to your clients.
Right. Your
And
obligation.
yeah, it's an obligation. That's why people in these industries, really, it's a business of the heart a lot.
Right. Right.
And yeah, so they'll call and we'll get them on claim, and then they get together. Many companies have quick care coordination, and they'll tell them what their options are, and I make sure that it'll go smoothly and they know what they can get.
Right. That is awesome. Well, Abby, I guess one of the main questions I had today, I jotted down a few notes this time. And one of the things I want to know is overall, and we probably discussed some of this, but if you look at some of the major financial issues that are causing people to freak out today, like what are you hearing? And are there any stats since COVID's come out, or is it pretty much
Well,
the same?
well, there was a Lincoln Financial, which is a very big insurance company, put out a study of about 2,000 people, 18 years or over, and they asked them what their biggest concern was. And this was pre-COVID. So, but it really stays the same in that they're worried about health insurance costs and medical costs. I do Medicare supplements, and my folks that are 60, it's a blessing to be 65 and it's a blessing to be on Medicare. And those folks have nothing to worry about. They're covered, they're good for the rest of their lives. But people are worried about their medical expenses and if they get sick. And so that also is a segue to disability insurance, because if you're making $100,000 or you've got a family that's counting on your money and you get sick and you can't work and you get disability insurance, it's huge. Long-term care insurance, it's huge. And, God forbid something bad happens, life insurance. So all of these are so important to put in your life. And it's not necessarily the most fun thing you want to do, but it's important to protect your spouse, your family, your estate. It's huge.
Are you seeing Abby, are you seeing a rise in the sale of long-term care or like elder care type policies?
Yeah. Yeah. As I said, there's an uptick in life insurance policies, long-term care insurance policies, and sadly, as I said, final expense.
Wow. Okay. So all of it.
Yeah, because people are trying to protect themselves. I mean, they know what's out there, and it's really, we're really sitting right on top of it.
Right. It's so odd. So working for an insurance company for almost 20 years as an IT guy, and then following what you guys and gals are doing out there and kind of learning from y'all, seeing the new products, how you handle those, what they cover. You know what? Final expenses was something that I never really even looked at or thought about until I have a friend that actually sells that too out here in Tennessee. So I
Mhm.
thought, wow. So I kind of looked at that. And then now you and I have had the discussion about that. I thought, wow, that's something.
It
So,
is something. I mean, generally, a final expense policy covers about $25,000, and you can get it at any age. You could pretty much, and get it at any health, which is also huge, because a lot of folks don't think about this till they're older. And yeah, because you don't want to leave your family. I mean, funerals and all that stuff is very expensive. You have to, if your kids or someone has to fly out to, when things get rough. Um, it's lovely to have that money so that that your kids can fly out. It's not a hardship. You can help them hire a nanny, whatever.
right.
So that's the reason for that.
Abby, what's the difference in that and like the pre burial or pre-prepared burial?
That is a different plan. That doesn't give you cash.
Okay.
What that does is you set yourself up with a funeral home or a cemetery,
Right.
and you work through those guys, and it covers the cost of you lock in the cost of the service, perhaps the plot,
Right.
headstones, things like that. I know this is a kind of a grim conversation, but it's a conversation that people
Oh, yeah.
have to think about.
Hey, one of my best friends just lost his mother, and thank goodness they had somebody. One of the daughters owns a funeral company or a funeral home, and thank
Mhm.
goodness. I mean, she was all over everything. But if not, that would have been extra stress. The dad had to go through, the sons had to go
Oh,
through. So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the family's, flipped out anyway, and then you have
right,
to add this financial strain. And what I've seen with insurance, my insurance practice is family financial strain equals family discord equals not happy family.
right, right,
And that's part of it too. I mean, when we look at our clients, it's a very holistic approach. I ask them, do they have kids? Do they have something they'd like to leave to a church, if they have no children, to a church, a synagogue,
right.
their college? So we really get into the meat and potatoes of how people live before we can even help
Right.
them.
Right, right. Well, Abby, that is awesome. Once again, I don't want to cut this thing too short, but I appreciate your time. Like I said, this is
Thanks.
probably the fourth or fifth time that we've been able to do this. I appreciate you
Yeah.
coming on with me, and thank you very much. And until next time,
Okay, thanks, David. You stay well. Stay healthy.
thank you, Abby.
Okay.